Hello everybody, welcome to the CSS3 course. In this video, I'm going to discuss some ways to change the display modes for your elements. So before I talk about this topic, let me show you the HTML file on the left hand side, and the corresponding web page is shown on the right hand side. So you can see my HTML file has a number of divisions. The first division has an inner division whose letters are all in capital letters. So you can see the corresponding output on the web page. And then I have another division which has a similar style as the first division. And inside this division, I also have another inner division. And same for the third big division, which contains an inner division that contains all capital letters. Okay, and then I'm going to show you the CSS file. So I just want to decorate the component indicated by the capital letters for each division. Okay. Now, we have to notice something before we can talk about the display modes for your elements. In general, there are so many elements that are in the block display mode. So what does it mean by the block display mode shown here? Okay, when I simply click on the tag, you can see that the highlighter of brackets is able to indicate the block shown on the web page. So when I click on H3 heading, you see this is a block. Okay, and also when I click on the division tag here, you can see that the highlighter is able to help me indicate the entire block. Okay, so in general, elements are displayed in the block mode. So if I want to change the display mode for a particular division, for example this one, how can we do this? We can have a number of ways. The first way to talk about is the inline mode. So let me try to demonstrate it now first on the first inner division. Okay, when I put display mode as inline, you can see that the division which was a block division is turned to an inline display mode. So you can see that this division is put inside the entire division. So you cannot distinguish this division from the rest of the division. Okay, so this is known as the inline mode. So we have to notice that the default value of the display mode is block. So when I don't enter any display mode, the block mode is simply shown to you. So when I turn to inline, you can see that the division has been put as an inline display mode that is contained inside the entire division. Okay, so I can add something to even exaggerate the inline mode. How can I do that? I can add some padding and margins. Okay, for now, I added some paddings, so you can see that there are some white places surrounding the inner division. Okay, and the margin is not that easily shown right now. So I can simply add the background color to help me demonstrate the padding and the margins more easily. Okay, when I add the background color of my inline display component to be light green, you can see that some words are hidden by the background color, while some words are put on top of the background color. Why is it like that? We simply go to the HTML file again. So we see that the inner division is simply following some text, and that inner division is also placed before some other text. So you can see that the inner division background color is able to hide the previous text that is put before the inner division. And since these texts are put after the inner division, these words are just shown after the division content, which is this part. So we added the background color for this part, and after adding the background color, these words will happen and to be shown after the division, which is already decorated. So that's why these words are not hidden by the background color of the inner division. Okay, so this is the property of the inline mode. And then we are going to talk about the inline block mode. So let me go to another division, which is this one. And for this one, I can do similar things for the inner division, which contains all capital letters. Okay, let me put the display mode here. Okay, you can see that the inline block display mode is quite similar to the inline mode shown previously. And what's the difference between an inline block and the conventional inline display mode? The difference is that for the inline mode, we cannot change the dimension of the inline component. That means we cannot add the height and the width for the inline component. We could only just add padding and margins. But for the inline block mode, we can allow the width and height setup. We can just treat the inline block as a real block, that is having the property of the inline display mode. So I can simply add the width and height now. Now you can see that the height and the width of the inline block display component is set up here. So 100 pixels is simply meaning the height and the width of the inline block display component here, okay? And to clearly illustrate the width and height, I can add the background color. Okay, after adding the height and the width, you're able to see the effects more clearly. So this is a square which contains 100 pixels on the vertical side and another 100 pixels on the horizontal side. Then the other display mode to talk about is none. So we can simply hide the division by using the none keyword. How can we do that? Let me go to the final division shown here. And then let me go to the CSS file. Okay, when I simply type none, you can see that the division that contains all the capital letters are gone. So these characters are still present in the HTML file. It is just that we don't display these letters out, okay? So this is the meaning of hiding, okay? We just don't show these things on the web page only. It is still present on the HTML file. So this video talks about some simple ways to change the display mode of your elements, from the block mode to inline mode, from the block mode to the inline block mode, or we can simply hide the component or the elements away with the none keyword. Actually, there are some more display modes, for example, the flexbox and the grids. So these more advanced display modes can be learned better after you have grasped the idea of inline block here, inline here, and the none keyword here. And you're able to learn more about the flexbox and the grid display modes after you have mastered the topics discussed today. This is the end of the video. If you have any questions about my video, please leave your questions on the comment section below the video. If you like this video, please give me a like and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.